Welcome back. In today's episode of Great Ideas from Around the World, we are looking at a quote from a German writer and philosopher, Thomas Mann, from 1924. He says, "A harmful truth is better than a useful lie." A harmful truth is better than a useful lie. I have a question for all of you viewing this. Do you believe in that? I mean, honestly, do you really think that in every case and in every scenario, it's always better to tell the truth, even if it's an ugly truth? I would like to give my take on that question, but then I'm really interested to hear your take. Perhaps I have a very simplistic view on this topic, and I really do appreciate your input and comments on these videos. First off, I want to focus on that word better. If a harmful truth is better than a useful lie, for whom exactly is it better? Is it better for you? Is it better for everyone around you? Often we think about the feelings of other people, right? I don't know about you, but that's the first thing that pops into my head. Well, if you're always speaking the honest and brutal truth, and you're always focusing on that, then doesn't that hurt a whole bunch of people's feelings? Doesn't that wreck relationships? I'd like to consider answering that question with another question. In your relationships, don't you prefer people to be honest with you? I mean, it's an honest question. Wouldn't you rather have someone always give you the truth? Of course, we want people to give us the truth in a very prudent, respectful, and a very honest way, not in an embarrassing way. And so I think it's safe to assume that most people would prefer that we treat them with the brutal honesty in a proper way, in a respectful way, in a prudent way. Of course, if you can't say anything nice, you shouldn't say anything at all, right? In a particular situation where it would not be appropriate, prudent, or respectful to share the ugly truth, then you don't have to share anything at all. But that's different from forming a lie and telling a lie. That's crossing a line. You don't have to lie. You just simply make the prudent choice to save the truth for later. When we talk about seeking the truth or trying to live according to the truth, I think it's important to remember that the truth is under no obligation to make sense to us or to agree with us. In fact, we could be living a life dedicated to one idea and then find out that that idea was a lie, find out that it's completely false. That's a very painful realization. If you've invested a lot of time and money and resources into following this idea, to have it then be proven as a lie and basically have the truth throw it out the window can be a hard thing to go through. A dedication to the truth, even if it's an ugly truth, takes a lot of bravery. We have to be able to admit that we were wrong, and there shouldn't be any shame in that. And we've all been wrong before, so you have plenty of company. When we are afraid of harmful truths, when we do build up our individual philosophy on a couple of lies, we basically make a house of cards, and when one of those lies crumbles under the weight of reality, well, it's possible that the whole basis of our philosophy crumbles with it. A lot of people experience this when they transition from a religious person into an atheist or a secular person. One day they had all the answers, they knew what was right, they knew what was wrong. The next day they realized that all of those thoughts were connected to things that in their opinion, are completely false. So they then have to start from square one. They have to reinvent the wheel. They have to say, okay, well, what do I believe and why do I believe it? How do I act and why am I going to act that way? And that can be a tremendously difficult experience. But that is the approach we have to take if we are dedicated to the truth, whatever that truth might be. I feel like if we anchor our lives in the truth, in what is factual and what can be proven by evidence or what has been proven effective, then we can weather the storms of passing trends, of attractive yet false ideas, and so on. Of course, I can't see the future and you can't see the future, and we can't guarantee that it'll always work out best for us if we follow the objective truth or the ugly truth. It's very easy to come up with examples where living according to very useful lies can help out everyone involved in the scenario. So the question comes down to what you think is right, what you think you should do. And in my opinion, I would argue that a good person believes in following the ugly truth no matter where it leads. They should be willing to look into that mirror and try to learn from what they see. I think that's the heroic path. I think that's the less selfish one. And of course, when the time is right, we should share the truth with others with prudence and with an eye on effectiveness. There's no point in making an enemy out of everyone in the world who disagrees with you just because you want to share the truth. There are much better ways to go about it. But those are my 2 cents on the subject. Now I really want to know what you think and what you have to say. Thank you for joining me today on this episode and for subscribing, and I'll see you tomorrow.